My name is Kwabna Chenchen. Many thanks for joining us here on News. So very first story. And cholera kills over 140,000 each year around the world from some 4.3 million cases. Health officials suggest basic hygiene can prevent most of such deaths. But in the central region town of Moree, poor sanitation is killing many. In 2014 alone, over 134 people in the town contracted the disease, with several of them dying. But as Felix Akoyan found out, many residents do not care.
This is Moree, a large fishing community in the central region. The coastal town is famous for many things, including tourism. It is also the hometown of the second gentleman of the land, Pakwisia Mr. Arthur. But there's one thing residents here are not proud of: poor sanitation. This makes the area a cholera endemic one. And there are many victims here. People have had to bear the brunt of a public negligence. Many people have been killed by cholera in this town. I meet Adjoa Kunua, who is in her 60s. Adjoa lost her husband in the last cholera outbreak in this community. His death is still fresh on her mind.
My husband complained of stomach upset. His upset worsened, so we took him to the hospital. He died shortly after he was admitted.
Adjoa is frail and jobless, making life unbearable for her and her grandchildren following the passing of her husband.
My husband was our breadwinner. Since he died, I have had no one to take care of me.
She lives just meters away from the seashore. And here, that means living close to filth and open defecation, the possible cause of her husband's death. In spite of this, health officials in this community say they are making strenuous efforts to deal with cholera.
In 2012 we had it, and we had it in 2014. That was the last year we have it. We had it 2014. We had 134 cases. We had one confirmed death and one suspected death. But all the rest, all the 132 were saved.
We still saw people defecating along the beach, garbage left along the beach. Would you say that the people are really listening to your campaign, and is it really working?
Some are listening. Some are listening. While some are also deaf to the campaign. Some are listening. So if they are not been listening, we have had the problem coming since last year and this year. So we will say that, some are not listening, but some are listening.
Nonetheless, a lot of work, both psychological and physical, needs to be done to deal with this public health situation. Felix Akoyan, Moree, Joy News.
Now, a total of 1,500 Muslims will this morning begin flying directly from the Tamale International Airport to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, for this year's Hajj. Saudi airline Flynas will fly would-be pilgrims over the next 3 days. At the Hajj village here in Accra, officials are working feverishly to ensure pilgrims do not encounter any challenges when they arrive on Sunday. If Reverend Shino visited the Hajj village, and as far as report.
The National Hajj Committee has assured Muslims participating in this year's Hajj a safe pilgrimage. Pilgrims will start arriving here at the Hajj village on Sunday to make the necessary arrangements for the journey. The flight from Accra to Saudi Arabia leaves on Tuesday, the 23rd of August. A total of 11 flights will be made this year to get the pilgrims to Mecca. According to the board, the move to airlift pilgrims from the 3 northern regions to Saudi Arabia is to make it convenient for all prospective pilgrims who hitherto had to travel to Accra en route to Saudi Arabia, and also reduce the cost incurred by the pilgrims. Spokesperson for the Hajj Council, Mohammed Amin Lamte, says this year's journey will be one of the best so far.
The advice team took over, I think, about 3-4 days ago. They are currently in Mecca and Medina, just waiting for Ghanaian pilgrims to arrive in Medina so that they will take good care of them. Because what we normally do is that when the pilgrims arrive in Medina, they have to stay for 3 nights. After 3 nights, then they have to move on to Mecca. That is where I'll bring in the issue of the transit. They will stay there for 3 nights, and then the subsequent 4 days, they have to move to Mecca. So we have some members stay in Medina, some in Mecca, just to make sure that the Ghanaian will be pilgrims are given the needed support when it comes to their welfare and what have you. So, this particular team, we have attached a doctor and about 2 or 3 nurses just for the first flight. So on each and every flight, we have to make sure we should have a doctor and a nurse, just because of the welfare of the will-be pilgrims.
The Northern Regional Command of the Ghana Immigration Service has trained some of its personnel to equip them with the skills needed to process passengers for boarding. Ifua Evans Chinui for Joy News.
Well, I told you we'll be returning to the classroom. Well, it's time for that. And approximately 90,000 pupils, representing 38% of the total number of students who sat for this year's West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination, scored F9 in mathematics. Wondering why? Well, a number of factors accounting for this rather worrying result. Now, though instructors say it is the easiest of all subjects, for majority of students, it is the most difficult. So how practical or easy can the approach to the study of mathematics be made for students? For some answers, Joy News' Komladum spent some time with participants at a math camp here in Accra, where globally tested modules are being applied to kill the math phobia among students.
A nation of too much talk, less action, with the penchant of always enumerating our challenges. Today, we are exploring ways of making the study of mathematics very easy for students to be able to pass the examinations. The narrative that the subject has been a very difficult one has been confirmed by performances at the Basic Education Certificate Examinations and the West African Senior School Certificate Examination results of the past years. Today, we are exploring practical methods to which the subjects can be taught for pupils to assess.
For several years, the study of mathematics has been a bane of students both at the basic education and senior high school levels in Ghana, with many pupils developing a phobia for the subject. This reflects in the grades they score in mathematics at the Basic Education Certificate Examination (BECE) and West African Senior School Certificate Examination. Handlers of the subject at various stages have not been so clear on how it should be addressed. In an attempt to find solutions to address the situation, individuals and groups have come up with globally tested models that simplify the abstractness of teaching and learning mathematics. The evidence-based and practical approach, according to facilitators at the Mathematics Academy in Accra, is addressing the situation in small leaps, but getting other major stakeholders to buy in has proven unsuccessful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3. So we label this as first horizontal, second vertical. So this becomes 5, 3. Okay? 5, 3.
Okay.
So we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So horizontally is 5. Vertically is 3.
Right.
So this is a unique point 5, 3. There's only one point in this plane with 5, 3.
Okay.
President of the Ghana Mathematics Association and founder of the Megasa Mathematics Academy, Professor Sichufe Anku, says it's high time the country took a position and tailored the teaching of mathematics to solving practical problems.
And it's not good for Ghana that so many should fail mathematics, because we at Ghana Mathematics Society believe that everybody can do mathematics, and that everything that we do contains mathematics. On top of that, we also believe the principles and methods of mathematics ensure the efficiency of all the things we do. So, put all these three together. It's allowing to see people feeling so much, because we believe that this is easy, if not the easiest of subjects to take in school.
Really?
It's the easiest of subjects.
Some of the participants at the camp have confirmed the effectiveness of this approach in their studies.
I've done a pentagonal envelope which we made here in Megasa, which has a 5 side. If you can see carefully, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the flap, here's 5. I started with this normal manila card and then reconstructed it into this thing you are seeing in front of me. So with the help of my compass and some of the guidance from this book, from this leaflet, I'm able to make a pentagonal envelope, which I've also designed it. So at the end of this, you can use this envelope for many things, like for birthday presents, decorations, post when you want to post something to a friend, or to even give a letter to somebody. You can even use this to tell the person you love maths, you're a fan of mathematics.
David Edujemfi Jr. is a facilitator at the mathematics camp and explains how the approach works.
The step will guide him to know how to construct any type of construction. We are not constructing only 3-sided figures. We are not constructing only an angle. We are not constructing only 4-sided figures. We are coming out with so many activities, and then if you miss one, you will not come out with a product.
Oh, okay.
If you miss one step, you will not come out with a product.
So that's the essence of the whole,
That is it.
Right.
So, but in our school system, we construct angle 60. What do I need angle 60 for? What do I need angle 40 for? But at the end, he will come out with a product, which he will be happy to be doing it to solve so many problems. And then when he come out with the product he can use for so many things. He can use as a bag, he can use as an envelope, he can use as a big gift. So the essence here is that they don't just learn, but they solve problems.
For once, there is some solution to addressing the challenge with mathematics, but authorities at the mathematics camp fear these may not be enough if stakeholders continue to show disinterest.
So this is evidence of practical, activity-based teaching and learning of mathematics here at the Megasa Mathematics Academy at Lashibi. If you're wondering where they are located, you can visit their website on www.ghanamathematicsociety.org for more information. From Lashibi here, my name is Komladun, Joy News.
You're watching this desk here on your Joy News channel. Multi-TV is also available on your Go TV channel 144 and your DSTV channel 421. When we return, we'll be telling you some pretty interesting things coming in from the camp of the medical sciences. Well, they are calling for a review of the law regulating the registration of allied health workers here in the country. Stay with us.